Ever wonder what was like before the Americans with Disabilities Act? Well, this might be your lucky day. I will talk about what happened in the years before they passed the act. It is Chris again, and today we will have a glimpse of how life was in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. I did some research about this because I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. I was a child back then and I didn't know what was going on politically. I was just being a kid who was into Legos and cars and trucks. What I have learned will blow your mind, because it was really difficult for people with disabilities, because they were looked upon as being hopeless and just were living at home. This is how bad it was. The first real change was made when the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. It is mostly referred to as the Rehab Act. This act was to prohibit discrimination on the basis of disability in the federal programs. The act has several sections to it and some of sections was passed, but Congress was delaying passing some of sections. Section 504 was not passed until April of 1977. It took about 4 years to be passed. What is Section 504 for? This section is huge. It made that housing would be built so that people with disabilities could live on their own. The buildings have to be designed for wheelchairs. Another thing that this section included was that universities and colleges had to accept people with disabilities. This video that I watched had a man who had a disability. He was actually denied acceptance into college because he was a person with a disability. Denied solely on the basis that he was a person with a disability and nothing more. It is hard to believe that this was the case during my lifetime. Back in those days, if you were a person with a disability and saw an ad for a job that you were qualified and went in to apply for the job, but the owner said no way that he would hire you, you thought that you would file a complaint at the courthouse. You just would have found that the courthouse did not take your complaint at all. Again, this was how bad it was. It was discrimination to the core. Then came the ADA. The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law on July 25, 1990 by George Bush. Again, this act was delayed just like the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. When that happened, the Disability Society had sit-ins around the country, and some climbed 101 steps at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Some people blocked in the head of the transportation in New York City because they could not ride the buses or trains. What did the Americans with Disabilities Act do? First thing was to give people with disabilities an opportunity to work. Second, it enforces all public transportation to be accessible for everybody. Third, it enforces the telecommunication industries to be equipped for people who are hard of hearing. Fourth, it enforces all public buildings to be accessible. Did society follow through with the act? Some of the points in the act were implemented really well and some were not. The biggest failure of the act was employment by far. In the video that I watched said that 82.4% of people with disabilities are not working. 36% of people without a disability are not working. Another statistic says 21.8% of adults with a disability are living below the poverty level versus 12.8% of persons without a disability. This data is from the United States Census Bureau in 2013 and from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2014. These data should be alarming for all of us. What should we do to try to change this? I will be doing more videos on this subject, but I need your input too. This cannot be changed by me alone. It needs all of you to speak on this channel and write your congressperson. They might not know this information like I have given you. So please comment here and spread the message to your family and friends. At Disability Awareness, we try to give useful information to people with disabilities and educate society. If you like this video and aren't a subscriber, please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. Here at Disability Awareness, we do 2 videos per week on Tuesday and 1 on Friday. So we will see you on Friday. It's Chris signing off.